Bursty here with you again tonight. Still feeling a little retina fluffy myself. I don't think anybody's going to complain. Now, tonight's topic is going to be superhero movies and comic book movies in general. I'll admit, I've liked comic book movies since as far back as I can remember knowing comic books could make movies. I think the first one I remember seeing was Batman, the first of the, like, 90s Batman? Around that time. And I enjoyed that. It was exciting. It was fun. And then there were like things like Blade. But unfortunately, there were a lot of not as good ones in there that, well, though I still enjoy watching, didn't do as well in the box office and didn't sell tickets and weren't necessarily true to the comic or good as movies. Fantastic Four has had more than enough of their share of. It wasn't comic book, and it wasn't a good movie. It was still fun, but it could have as easily been a TV special more than something they tried to put on the big screen. Now, I'm enjoying both. I'm enjoying the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now because it's really taken off. Even before Disney bought them, it was really starting to go somewhere. Do I like all of it? No. Do I care if it's all perfectly aligned with whatever comic book lore says things should exactly be? No. Personally, I feel that if it's going to tell a story, it doesn't have to tell the exact same story that's been told before. It can tell a slightly different story, a slightly different version. I mean, from the X-Men series, Days of Future Past. As far as I can remember, there have been at least 3 different variants now of that situation. There was the comic book variant that I know of, there was the cartoon series variant that I know of, and now there's the movie variant. All of which are very different. In fact, the movie has more things related to the comic book because Wolverine's the one that goes back. In the cartoon series, Bishop gets to go back. So, we'll change up there. Do I like all of them? Yes. Do I find all of them useful media? By far. One of the movies that I was probably the least happy with, but still enjoyed, was the first of the G.I. Joe live-action movies. Mostly because it didn't feel like G.I. Joe. The second one was a lot better. In fact, the second one felt like how I would play with G.I. Joes, so there's a big thing there. I know I said superhero movies, but this is also comic book movies, so stick with me. The G.I. Joe comic book series one I read as a kid the whole way through. The main line, not all of the other variants. But the comic books were way different than the cartoons, mostly because they used bullets. Not everything was a laser. They weren't afraid to pull punches and kill people, like the cartoon couldn't. And the fact that the movies were willing to do that made a big plus. And now go back to the X-Men movies. The first one, looking back at it now with all of the knowledge of everything we know about movies from now, it wasn't great, but at the time, it was one of the best ones, one of the best comic book type movies that had been put out. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I've watched it a lot. I will rewatch it a lot. Second one, even better. Third one, it was still good, but it it came to the point of it didn't feel like it followed enough of the rules of what the movies had set forth and what the comics had set forth. It felt like not as good. It was still good. It was still fun to watch, and I still watch it, but it's not as good. After that, the movies definitely got a lot better, though. All of the first class movies, um, that's them going back and kind of starting over setup effectively. Those were fun. I don't know what's going to happen with the X-Men franchise in general since Disney now owns them. We're probably finished with this group of people after the Phoenix Saga movie, which was not a saga, it was just a single movie, and well, it was a thing. It was a fun one too. Apocalypse was great. Days of Future Past, of course, awesome. There were a lot of Wolverine spin-off movies, which, well, come to think of it, almost all the X-Men movies were Wolverine movies, just other people were in them. We love you, Hugh Jackman. You were Wolverine as long as you wanted to be him. And then you look at things like all of the things in the Avengery Marvel Cinematic Universe. We have like the Iron Mans, the Hulk, which is kind of in there because the Hulk in the Hulk movies was not the same actor. It almost didn't seem like the same Hulk was being used between the two Hulk movies that came out, the Hulk and the Incredible Hulk. It's almost like they started over again. Okay with that and all, but like pick a ride, guys, and stick with it, I suppose, and I think they did for now. The Thor movies were interesting enough. They weren't my favorite, but they were good. It's not that the characters were at all bad. I think the writing just felt a little too all over the place in all of those ones. It's like we're trying to tell too many stories at the same time and just had things bunched together. The Iron Man movies were good. The only one I didn't like as much was the third one. Mostly because we weren't getting much Iron Man. We were mostly getting stuck out of Suit Man. At least the second one had that going for it. We had an Iron Man pretty much from get-go through the end. So you had what you were paying for. You knew what you were coming in for. You got Iron Manning. All of the Captain America movies were phenomenal. Though half of them, I think, were Avengers movies. They just didn't want to put the tagline on it because there were just so many characters at any given time. It wasn't Captain America. It was everybody. Oh, and Captain America was one of them everybody's. But they were really good. They were some of the better flicks, and I didn't want to like it. I wasn't a fan of Captain America's character before this, but I definitely am now. So that's a thing. Guardians of the Galaxy, great. No qualms about either of those so far, or any of their appearances in any of the Avenging movies. Ant-Man, didn't expect to like. Loved both of those, so that's a thing. Captain Marvel, awesome. In fact, it's pretty much solid. I like this universe. It's really working with me. Time traveling back, there were the Blade movies. They were fun. They were cheesy. They were weird, but they were good to watch. And Wesley Snipes made that character. He was Blade. There was no question there. He was on screen. He was just as much Hugh Jackman was Wolverine. He was Blade. And hey, when someone could be a character and just do it. That's it. Just keep it up. Now, the DC universe has had a lot of struggles lately. the Dark Knight series of Batman was. Well, the Dark Knight itself was good, but the first one, it took me so many tries not to fall asleep during. The third one, I couldn't follow that stuff with Bane. It didn't do it for me. Um, the new Superman that became the one that fought in Batman versus Superman in that movie, eh, Justice League was good. Aquaman was awesome. Um, so stuff could come out of all this. But the DC TV series, those are really doing good. I've enjoyed everything I've watched out of that. Um, the Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, uh, what are those ones that are time traveling? The Defenders, the People of Tomorrow. I forget what they're called, but that was a good one too. Um, Black Lightning was a good series. That one was really good. And there were a few Marvel TV series ones too, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was really good. But a few of the other ones didn't really hit me as hard. I tried to watch them. Agent Carter was okay, but it felt like they couldn't fit it all together. Anyway, that's some thoughts on this stuff. Um, they're the kind of movies I can put in and watch, either just to watch or to have be background noise. So I hope they keep making them. I have a shelves full of this stuff on disc form because I buy movies. It's a thing. It's a hobby. And I like having them at all times, even if I do have streaming services. Because you never know when you're going to need a Spider-Man moment. Spider-Man's a long topic all itself. Alright. Well, I have some stuff to do, my kittens. Bursty does love each and every one of you, and hopes you're all staying super fluffy for her. So, enjoy your cuddly moment tonight, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Share this with your friends, family, enemies, everybody. Hit the little dingly bell. Patreon link is at the bottom if you're interested. Hope you have a cuddly rest of your day.